Right. Perth, Australia, Tom Scollay. I'm starting something new. It's a new channel, it's a new vibe, it's a new feeling, it's a new series. And I don't really know what I'm going to call it. Let's call it a kit bag.
Yep.
Why not? Firstly, how are you? Perth's amazing.
Oh, Perth is magnificent. We're sitting here in the sun. It's not too hot today. No flies around, thankfully, but I love this place. I didn't grow up in Perth. I came here when I was 18, and I just think this is one of the best places in the world. The lifestyle, the weather, the beaches, everything's amazing. So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And all is good. Yeah, thank you.
Good news. So the idea of this series, basically invite a guest along and bring some mementos, some items of your cricketing history, your past, your moments, your highs, your lows, whatever that might be, and just have a really kind of wholesome conversation through it and get to know you as a person, or the next cricketer as an athlete, or whatever that looks like. And that's kind of what I'd like to do. So I know you've got some stuff here. We've gone through the office. Where are we going to start?
Yeah, I think firstly it's a great concept, and it's something that I haven't seen done so much before. And I think that what content allows us to do, and obviously we do a lot of content, is share stories of people. So what you're doing is pretty cool. So yeah, we've just been in the office looking around at what are some sort of things we can use to tell stories. And the first thing I sort of found was this handwritten scorecard, which is every ball bowled in the innings I scored my first grade 100. Wow. So it was 23rd of February 2008. So I think I was 20 years old. Okay. I probably played a season and a bit, or a bit under a season of first grade cricket. I was playing for Melville Cricket Club against Wanneroo. I scored 111 off 136 balls, 171 minutes. I was in for. I batted number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 3, who only made 2 in this game, was Adam Voges, the ex-Australian Test player. He was the Western Australian Perth Scorchers coach right now. He's a very good friend of mine, obviously a former teammate. And so, yeah, it's a special innings. And the remarkable thing, there's a little photo of me there, I think was the moment I brought up my 100. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. But this was scored in the scorebook. And then an old lady who recently passed away, a lady named Jan McMahon, she would write out, copy the scorebook, and then laminate it and give it to someone if they got a 5-wicket, took 5 wickets or scored 100. So I've got, I think, 5 or 6 or 7 of these handwritten out of my first grade career. I think I got 10 hundreds in my first grade career. I've got a handful of them written out, and it's fascinating to look back on. It's sort of, I've kept them on the side of my desk, under my desk, sort of stashed away, and I very rarely pull it out and look at it. But it's a pretty cool thing to look at when you look back at it.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Do you mind if I have a look?
Of course.
One of those things that I think we're very good at hiding our achievements. And as you say, this has been kind of underneath a box somewhere in the office, and you've looked at it today and you've gone, wow, that's quite amazing. Had you scored junior hundreds before this? So this wasn't your first actual 100 as a cricketer, but the first one as a first grader, which is, as I've learnt in my time here, as close to professional cricket as what you're possibly going to get. And as you say, you shared the field with Adam Voges that went on to play Test cricket. That moment you brought it up was, a cliche question is, how well do you remember the day? But the one I want to ask is, at the point of doing it, did you suddenly go, okay, I belong here. I've shown what I've wanted to do, and I've ticked that box off. What's next?
Yeah, look, my memory is that it was a bit of a long time coming. I grew up in Alice Springs, in the middle of Australia. Moved to Perth just after my 18th birthday. I think about a season and a bit before I scored this 100, and I started in 4th grade in January 2006. So this is February 2008. So 2 years before that, I started in 4th grade, did well. Jumped up to 2nd grade, did pretty well, and started playing a bit of T20 cricket in the 1st grade squad. And then I made my 1st grade debut in the one-day final of that 2005-2006 season, which was March 2006, so 2 years before this. And I got a few runs in that game, and a few people sort of predicted that I'd play a lot of 1st grade straight away at the start of next season. But didn't work out like that. I started in the 2s next season. I didn't get many runs, and I spent most of that season in the 2s. And then I got my next 1st grade game with 3 games to go that season, and I scored 84. And that was my 1st grade proper debut was at the Wacker in a day-night one-day final. My first 2-day game was I got 84 off about run a ball, batting at 5 or 6. And so I think that moment is where I realised I belonged at that level. But to get your first grade 100, this is again another year later. You really, like, that's what people notice. That's what makes you, like, not an 84, but 111. You feel like, that's what you play the game for. You play to score match-winning scores like that. And so it was certainly a special moment. The photo there is, I remember knocking it into point and running, and just the relief, I guess. The satisfaction that a lot of the work I'd put in was worth it. And so, it was a really cool moment.
I just a couple of things before we move on. Firstly, the opening bowler here, what a great name for an opening bowler. End Death. What a great name.
We used to always take the piss how he bowls really good Yorkers. He bowls good Yorkers, like bowling at the death.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And the second one as well, like, just the way the cricket style has changed, like the stickers on this Slazenger cricket bat and the shape of the pads and the equipment and the whites and stuff is amazing. So, that's a really, really cool story. I appreciate you sharing that one with us.
No worries.
What have we got next? What did that lead on to?
So the next is my baggy black from Middlesex County Cricket Club. So I had a bit of an interesting journey, I guess. Went from Alice Springs, the middle of Australia, a town of 30,000 people with only 4 cricket teams. Moved to Perth on the back of my dreams to play for Australia. And then while I was here, I sort of went Perth, Darwin, and Darwin's still in the Northern Territory where I grew up, the territory I grew up in, and they have an alternate season to Perth. And trying to play for Australia, but not progressing in WA as much as I would have liked in that 18, 19, 20 age group. And one of my good friends back then, his older brother was Dimitri Mascarenhas, who played for England. And he said, I told him I had a British passport. I could get a British passport because my dad was born in England. And he was like, mate, go and play county cricket. You're good enough to play county cricket. Get over there. So I got a British passport. My dad had to get one first. And I went and played as a 20-year-old. I think this year, after I got my first grade 100 in April that year, 2008, I went over to England, played at a club called East Coast Cricket Club in the Middlesex Premier League, and I sort of got a trial with Hampshire as a 20-year-old, played one game against Middlesex. It rained a lot. I don't think I got any runs in the one innings I played, and I never trialled or played any county cricket for the rest of that year. I don't think I was mature enough or physically or mentally or emotionally ready. I didn't really seek it out. I was 20 years old, living in London, having a great time, enjoying the off-field life while playing good cricket. So then I went back again in 2009 as a 21-year-old. And at the end of that season, played again for East Coast. That whole season did well. For the end of that season, I got a trial with Middlesex. It was a 50-over game against Gloucestershire at the county ground in Bristol. It rained. The game almost got called off. Again, a bit of rain. But
there's a theme going on here, isn't there?
Yeah, but fortunately it didn't get called off. Gloucester batted first and got about 130, 26 overs. So now with 2020, this is 2009. That's a bad score, right? But back then it was an okay score. I walked out to bat with another guy called Steve Selwood, who was trialling as well. I faced the first ball against David Payne, left arm quick, who's still at Gloucester and played for the Perth Scorchers. And I hit 24 off the first over. I think I hit 3 sixes. I think the first ball went over mid-off for 6. Second ball went over mid-off for 6. Might have bowled back of a length, pull 4, back of a length, pull 6. And all my teammates who had never seen me play before stood up and went, who is this kid? Who is this bloke? And so I got a call from the first team coach the next day, and he said, come and have a meeting with me. And he basically said, look, we can't believe what you did. I ended up with 66 off 33 balls in my one and only opportunity.
And in that era, unheard of, really. Just completely out of style.
So I was just young and free and having fun. And so then, absolutely smacked him. Came and met the coach. He said, we'd love you to trial with us next year. So I came back a bit early in March instead of April. I did a bit of their pre-season in the indoor nets and then played the first second 11 game against Northants, who you're familiar with, at the Northants ground. And David Willey was playing. I think I got 48. And I think my second ball I faced, I pulled for 6 off Willey. And that made the coach, who was new that year, sort of go, who's this bloke? He loves the short ball. And so, things progressed. And in the middle of 2010, I got offered a summer contract for the rest of 2010 and a 2-year full contract. And I made my debut that few days later against Bangladesh at Lords. Wow. So that was pretty cool. But I didn't play a whole lot. I didn't actually play a first-class game. I was 12th man a number of times and in the squad a few times. But I played, 15 or 20 white ball games. It was Pro 40 back then, not 50 over cricket, and T20. But I look at this really fondly. Obviously, as you said before, I don't talk about my own career very often. I'm now cricket mentoring. I'm the mentor. I'm not the player. But it's a really proud thing to have gone from a small town in the middle of Australia to play at Lords, to be rubbing shoulders with Andrew Strauss, who was the England captain at the time, Owen Morgan, who became the England captain, Stephen Finn, who was playing for England, and a whole heap of other great cricketers playing. I played against Mutai Muralitharan. I faced 4 balls of him and didn't hit any in a T20. He was too good for me. But yeah, fantastic to look back on. And like you say, I don't think about it very often, but yeah, really cool thing to have, I guess.
Yeah, of course. No one can ever take it away.
No.
I kind of look at sport, and not just cricket, almost as in a pyramid kind of style, and there's going to be so many of us playing amateurly at the bottom, and then you'll get up and up and up and up and up, and you've made it through and you've competed through all of those people to get to the level that you got to. And a very, very select number of people will ever, in the history of the game, have ever, percentage-wise, to have an opportunity to do the things that you've done, and you've earned that and you've worked for it. And as you say, you took yourself out of the comfort zone, right? You moved away from home, you then moved away from your second home to go and chase this dream, and anybody who hears that should take their hat off to anybody that does it. And hopefully inspire them as well to kind of go, yeah, do you know what? Like, if this is what I have to do to make it work, and now you've got those cool memories and played at Lord's and faced Murali and lived in London and enjoyed whatever nightlife you got up to over there in the UK.
That was good fun, I tell you. But I completely agree, and I advise in what I do now with cricket mentoring, any athlete that says, oh, I want to chase it, but maybe I should go to uni, and I'm like, have a crack. Like, chase your dreams, because the worst thing we can have is regret, and that's something I don't have, is any regret. I did my best, I chased my dreams, and I look at my professional career as a bit of a failure. I didn't go on and have a long, successful career, but I did my best. I did what I like, and I look back now and know that was because of my mental skills, and that's why I'm really passionate about that now. But 100%, hopefully one person watching this is unsure, but I think you've only got one life, you've only got one opportunity, and you can always. I started uni at 25 when I'd finished my professional career, and I got a degree and started my business at 27, and I'd 100% tell someone who's watching and unsure to just chase your dreams, and if you don't make it, well, so be it. You can live with that.
Yeah. The hardest thing with anything for me is starting. And if you start, then you've done the hardest possible thing that you're ever going to have to come up against in whatever challenge or journey you decide to take on. But you mentioned cricket mentoring. You kind of kitted out in some really stylish stuff as well. What was that? What was the story behind it? How did that start? Was it directly related to Middlesex and that journey, or was it a case of come back home and something else clicked and you went, actually, I've got a lot to offer here?
Well, it's cool that we're sitting here in South Perth, because this is where it all started, up the road at Muleman's Cricket Centre, and I was renting an apartment a few hundred metres from here.
Brilliant.
And we moved in, not the penthouse. That building wasn't there then, but just a few sort of streets over. And we moved in, and I think within a few days of moving in, my good friend from my Middlesex days, Sam Robson, was debuting for England in 2014 in Test cricket. And I was flying out that night to go and see him. And this was my first, his Test debut, this was my first winter off. So as an 18-year-old, I went to Darwin to play for 2 seasons, 18 and 19, and then I'd played for 6 seasons all year round in England as well. So England, Perth. And so it was middle of 2014. I just moved into an apartment here in South Perth, and I was running along the river just up here, and I ran into my old captain, a guy called Scott Muleman, who owns Muleman's Cricket Centre, which is where the business started. And I said to him, hey mate, I've just moved into South Perth. I've got all this free time, because it was the winter and I didn't know what to do with myself. I'd usually be training and playing, and said, I'm keen for some coaching. So I flew off to London that night, watched Sam for a week, and then a week later I got a phone call from a dad who had got my number from Muleman's, and he said, I got your number, love you to coach my son. We arranged at the first session, and I was sort of doing it purely from I've got time, I want to earn a bit of my extra money, a bit of extra cash, let's do this coaching. But the moment I started coaching this kid, I was in a good space. I'd been coached by some great coaches, especially a guy called Mark O'Neill in England, who I learnt a lot about batting technique from, and I had this confidence and belief, having been a professional cricketer, to be able to impart some knowledge or some wisdom onto these 13, 14-year-old kids. So in that session, I got so much sort of warmth and satisfaction out of helping this kid and helping him with a little grip change or a little positional change or unlocking something in his mindset. Seeing him smile just gave me so much joy and energy that, I got a bit addicted to it. So I got a second client through Muleman's, and a third and a fourth. And I sort of just did my private coaching for the first 12 months or so. And then, like I sort of said, from day one, I wanted to help them in what we talk about now is the 6 pillars of success: technical, tactical, mental, emotional, physical, and lifestyle. And for me, the 2 that let me down were my mental and emotional. I was technically okay, tactically I knew the game well, physically I was fit and strong, and my lifestyle supported all of that. But I didn't understand my thoughts and emotions. So I was printing things out for players and giving them little handbooks and making my coaching as holistic as possible. And so then I sort of started consuming a lot of content. I was like, oh, well, why can't I create content? So this was 2015. And then, we launched the business. I sort of incorporated the business January 2016, started building a website, but we didn't actually launch until the 2nd of August 2016 because I was trying to make every photo perfect. Here at South Perth Cricket Club, I came down here and took 1 million photos in the nets with a few players. And so this was an interesting part of my beginning, cricket mentoring's beginning. But we launched August the 2nd. I sort of juggled it while still working full time. I was coaching, and it was all coaching and a bit of content. And then I went full time in July 2017. I went to England, got married, came back, I'd quit my job, started vlogging September 2017, started vlogging on YouTube, started doing a podcast and going all in on content and coaching, and it's sort of evolved from there.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? And so that's something I can kind of relate to actually with the content side of it. How liberating is it to be able to take that first step into the journey and build your own thing? The cricket mentoring is you, isn't it? Tom Scollay is cricket mentoring is Tom Scollay. You can't have one without the other. And it's your direction, it's your success, it's the way you've changed it. I think the word mentoring in it is the fascinating side of it. It's not just cricket coaching, is it? It's a lot more, I think you've used the word kind of holistic than that. It's a lot more kind of, I don't know whether, would you say arm around the shoulder, or are you kind of guiding someone this way around, or are you kind of going, here's the information for you, go and figure it out for yourself type thing, and I'll always be here to have a conversation? No,
it's definitely not go and figure it out. This is a collaborative thing, but we're here to support you with whatever you need. And it's about building long-term relationships. It's not about, okay, I'll see you once, I'll fix something and go off and do it. Like our big thing is when we're doing coaching sessions, we sell packages or blocks because it's not about one interaction. So the mentoring piece for me was I was reading a lot of things in a business sense about a business mentor, this mentor, but no one was talking about it in sport in 2016. So when I sort of founded the business at the end of 2015, start of 2016, that was quite a unused word, but I guess I saw it as an important piece, that we're not just going to coach and tell you what to do, but we are building a two-way relationship where you tell us what's going on, we'll try and help you with what we're hearing and seeing, not just in the nets, but like I've watched hours of my players playing, and that used to be going to games, but now with live streaming we can watch from home. But because it's this holistic thing, and I love seeing our players get better and have success, and also just seeing them struggle because I know they'll get better on the back of that. So I guess, and this was the third thing I brought. This is our old logo. This is the first logo we ever had, which we had for the first 8 years, I think. That was a sign we used to had on our office when we had an office, and we had an extra one made for Muleman's. It's been interesting, and it's evolved. I've now got some really good people involved, and we've rebranded, new logo and stuff. But it's been lots of fun. Yeah,
and you say it's grown, it's evolved. Obviously, you've got tours out to India. You're working with some really exciting young cricketers as well that are going on to achieve some amazing things. And you've got one of the shirts here of one of those cricketers that you've worked a lot with.
Yes. So this is a pretty cool shirt. Australia in the ICC Under-19 Men's World Cup West Indies in 2022, and it's Teague Wiley, who I first met as a 13-year-old. I think we had our first session in the nets right here. So again, it's great that we're in this place. When I first saw him, I was just blown away of where his game was at, how mature he was, how developed he was from a skill sense as a 13-year-old. We've become great mates. I spoke at his 18th birthday. I know his family really well. We go and stay. My wife and his mum have become good friends. We go and stay at their place, and he's become like a little brother. I spoke to him last night, spoke to him this morning, and he's done some amazing things in the game already. He's only 21 years old, but he played as an underage player in this tournament, so he was a bottom age player with another year to go, and he got the most runs for Australia, and he was picked in the ICC team of the tournament. So as a 17-year-old, that was January 2022. He then came back, gave me this shirt as a bit of a thank you, and we've got it up on our wall at the office. He then made his Sheffield Shield debut in March that year. In his second game, he won the Sheffield Shield as a 17-year-old. In his third game in October that year, he scored 100 and became the youngest since Ricky Ponting in 30 years to score a Sheffield Shield 100 as an 18-year-old. He played for Australia A as an 18-year-old, and a lot of people tipped him to be opening for Australia in the near future. And unfortunately, it hasn't panned out that way yet. But he's doing great things. He played this week against the England Lions, batted at 4, made 71 in the first innings and 20 not out in the second innings against a pretty decent England attack.
Yeah.
So he's out of the WA team at the moment. He's contracted. He's out of contract after this year, but I still think he's got a huge future ahead of him. And the way he played this last week was as good as I've ever seen him play. But yeah, he's one of the few. He's one of a handful of players that I've mentored since they were young through to professional cricket. Yeah. We've got 5 now, 1 girl and 4 boy guys who, I sort of started working with maybe when they were 13 to 15, and they've gone on to have a contract, have a career, and it's been so much fun. Like, I see myself as not reaching my full potential.
Sure, okay.
And that's what really drives me and makes me so motivated and passionate to help guys and girls like Teague to really reach their full potential. And it doesn't matter where they live. We've got players all over the world now who I'm working with through online and a bit in person. They might come here, I might see them in India or whatever. But technology just connects us, and you can be speaking to anyone, seeing them train. I've got players that wear headphones when they bat, and they have their dad or someone throw them balls, and I'm on Zoom coaching them. So
that's really cool.
So yeah, we live in such an amazing time. So Teague, I'm so proud of what he's already done, but I really think he's got such a huge future ahead.
Do you get any more satisfaction or less satisfaction from working with a Teague Wiley compared to working with, I'm sure you've got a lot of cricketers that probably similar to me really, guys that are later on in a career or guys that are playing 4th grade out here. Do you prefer one or the other? Do you treat anybody differently, or is it just you just have that amazing passion for the game and anybody who wants to get better you'll buy into?
Yeah, no, look, I think from a marketing piece, guys like Teague and the success they've had draws other people in because they're like, I want that for my son or daughter, or you get results. And I really think we do get results. But I'd much rather work with a 13-year-old Teague than a already great player.
Sure.
Like someone like Jake Weatherall's been fascinating, but I haven't done a heap with him technically. I've really enjoyed working with him because we've focused on the tactical side of the game.
Okay.
And he's opening the batting for Australia in this Test series, and it's been fascinating to be a part of his journey over the last 4 or 5 years. But he came to me as a first-class cricketer, and I knew I couldn't impact him 50%. It was more just giving little gains here and there. We've done some technical stuff. We've done a lot tactically and a little bit mentally, but he's got his own mental coach. But I love helping kids who are like, I guess, 12, 13, 14, who have some technical issues or don't understand the game very well, because I feel like that's where you can help them a lot.
Yes.
Or someone who's a bit older. It's harder when they're older because usually bad habits are ingrained, and it gets harder to get them out of those bad habits. But when they're older, they can process information quicker and understand concepts easier. So it's a bit of a juggle, but my coaching is about simplifying things. It doesn't matter if you're 12 or 50. It doesn't matter if you're really smart and know the game, I'm trying to keep everything as simple as possible because the game is complicated, batting is complicated, and I usually work with batters. So yeah, look, it doesn't really matter, honestly. It's if you have a hunger to get better, and we attract good players because of the results we've got. So I think we'll always have really high-end players, but when we go to India, we take our youngest member has been 11 and our oldest is 49, and it's a passion for cricket. It's a willingness to learn, to listen, to be challenged, and to get better that I sort of warm to. And if anyone's got that, I'd love working with them.
No, it's fantastic. And the final piece, a cricket bat.
A cricket bat, yeah. Well, this is an old bat with a big sort of crack down the middle, down the toe, and this was the bat I used sort of right up until the time I finished playing. And I just thought, being a cricketer, we might end with this. Grove is a great partner of ours who are based out of Mulmans, where they own the Grove brand, so we do our coaching at Mulmans. They used to sponsor me and give us gear, and I had our old logo sticker on there. But yeah, like I really hope to get back to playing one day. I've got a lot of mates and people of my age who are just like, nah, I'm so glad I'm not playing cricket anymore. And I genuinely am a cricket nuffy. So I've got 3 kids at home. We've just had a baby, and I know I'm not going to play in the next couple of years, but I have this grand plan to come back maybe in 2 years when I'm about to turn 40. I've got a bit of a plan to start in 4th grade and try and make a first grade 100, document it all. But yeah, this was my final bat, a nice piece of willow. Yeah, I can't use it anymore because it's absolutely cooked.
I was going to say, I think in whatever year you go back, you might need to speak to Grove about getting another one.
I think I'll need a new stick and a whole new kit. But yeah, that's what I thought maybe we could just finish with, that maybe my cricket career isn't over, and just play for some fun and let the kids watch and see if they enjoy cricket.
That's what I love. I love that in particular about cricket, and it feels like it's changed quite a lot in the last 5 years. Is a bit more kind of inclusive in the fact that actually you can play for fun. And you could have an amazing time playing grade cricket. And if you never got back to first grade, you'd still be really enjoying it. And if I've started to kind of learn my way around the Perth kind of Australian setup with different tiers and subcategories and people that play on carpet and grass and turf. But it feels like there's an opportunity to play if somebody wants to play. If you're prepared to go and search it out, there will be an opportunity to go and play this amazing sport that's made so many of us kind of fall in love with it and learn so much about it.
Absolutely. And I think I was thinking about England, comparing it to England as you were saying that, and I think the same goes for England because there's so many leagues and divisions and all of those sort of things. So I think regardless of what level you're at, you can get, you can play for one. But cricket is such a consuming game that I think that if you play, you want to enjoy it. Yeah. And too many people, in my opinion, only enjoy it when they do well. And it's a tough game. It's such a tough game. One of the biggest things I work with when I'm mentoring athletes with their mindset is the joy comes first. If you enjoy the game and being here and sitting down with your mates, watching the game, watching your teammates, enjoy the uncertainty, enjoy fielding, enjoy the sun being out, maybe not always in England, but if you enjoy those things, the results come because you're having fun. But if you only enjoy it when you do well and you have a big number next to your name, you start resenting the game and hating the game. So if you're going to play, you may as well enjoy it because it's such a long game, but it's an amazing game.
100%. Mate, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed that.
My pleasure.
It's been
Thanks
really
for having
good
me.
to chat through
Cheers.
with you. Make sure if you're not, make sure you go and check out Cricket Mentoring. And if you want to get better, there's probably no better place in the world to actually look to start with than Tom at Cricket Mentoring. So thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.